Hey guys, welcome to the Skylines. My name is Capital C, and in this video we're creating the international airport for our city, Rockford City. Now this is quite a large project and it's gonna take quite some time to finish. I'm gonna think that it's gonna be about 3 and maybe even 4 episodes. So in this episode we're not really going to finish the airport, we're just doing the basic layout and the basic stuff. So there's gonna be runways, taxiways and a terminal. And we're not gonna focus on planes, details and that kind of stuff. That's all gonna be in the next video, which is gonna be episode 12 I believe. Now, I think we've come a long way in this episode. This is about 5 hours of footage you're watching in this 20-minute video. So I really had to cut a lot in this video. It's about so much happened and so much stuff went by and we did a lot. So it's quite a short video, but it is a lot of footage. Now the airport that we created is inspired by San Francisco International Airport. I thought this airport was fantastic because of the runways that go out into the water, and I figured let's do that as well. And if you see a massive cut in the video where you think, well, what happened? That might be because there is, or we're going to a different area, because there is a secondary airport in the city which doesn't work, but I did a lot of detailing on that as well. We're not gonna use it, it's gonna be destroyed, but I took some details of that so I could copy and paste them, which would make this video a little bit easier. So that's what you might see. Now I think we have runway 23 right and left, and runway 5 left and right. And there's 2 more which I forgot the name of. But that doesn't matter. There's 4 runways in total, 2 are being used and 2 are just for show. You will see them in a second, they cross each other like pretty much in the middle. I think they look good. The runway location and runway detail I think is very nice. Now in this video I forgot to do one thing, and that's the lights, the runway and the taxiway lights. There is at the end a little bit of lighting that is done, but it's not a lot. It's basically the taxiways. I hadn't downloaded the runway lights, so that's what you won't see in this video. It's something we're gonna focus on in the next one, which should be fun. Hopefully we can start detailing in the next video as well. But we'll see that in the near future. Now I said this video was going to be released last week. I was aiming for that, but things didn't really work out and things got in the way. And eventually I didn't have time to record a voiceover, which is like pretty much the least thing you can do for a video. It takes the less... I don't know how to say that. My English isn't really on point today. But it doesn't take a lot of time to record a voiceover, but I really couldn't find the time to do it. So that's why this video is a week late. And hopefully soon we can record the second video. But it's just with these City Skylines videos, they take so much time to do because of the detailing and all the precise work that goes into this. That there's really it's really difficult to find the time to do everything. So that's why some videos might be late. A lot of videos are late on my channel. That's pretty much how I roll, how I work. But we're just fixing up the taxiways here. We're connecting them up to the runway. And I wanted to make this as realistic as possible. So we got the yellow lines everywhere, which connect up to the runway. I looked up pictures on the internet to make it as realistic as possible. And I think we've come a long way, made it very realistic. There are of course things that aren't very realistic, and I hope you airport fanatics or airport freaks will let me know. I like airports, I really like planes and all that kind of stuff. I like traveling with planes and by plane. So I know a little bit about it, but I don't know everything. So hopefully you guys can show me a little bit and say, well, this is wrong, you might want to do this. Unless there are like major things that majorly have to be changed or whatever, then pretty much I'm not gonna do them. But if it's little changes and changes that are very important to the airport, then I'll really go into that and hopefully change it all very soon. But yeah, we're still working on the taxiways here. We got to the second runway, which is 23 left if you're coming in from the seaside. That's basically it. There are mountains on the other side of the runway. They are going to be deleted. Don't worry about that. I want this airport to be as realistic as possible, so I'm going for a realistic takeoff and runway path and everything. So don't worry, they will be gone by the next video. I think they're already gone. I don't know if they're gone in this video already, so don't mind me. It's been a while since I recorded this. It's been about like 2 weeks since I recorded most of the footage. But then again, it's 5 hours of footage, so I can't remember everything, even though I recorded this so long ago. The concrete slabs are used. I don't know what they're called. Concrete slabs is from Minecraft. The concrete brush, that's what it's called. I used is a little bit buggy, a little bit glitchy. That's why you see me change them a little bit. They like have little indentations on like some ones, so they have to be changed. But they all look good now. They all look finished. They all look fancy, and that's the look we're going for. Our runway is also a bit shorter than the other runway. The 23 left is going to be the landing runway, so it's going to be arrivals, and 23 right, that will be departures. So that will be taking off. It will be happening from 23 right. This is the runway that crosses those two. There's going to be 2 runways that cross. They won't be in use. They are real runways and they have real taxiways connected to them, but there's no way to expedite off or enter these runways, so planes won't be landing on them if I'm correct. I haven't tried it out. If they still land on this, then I'm going to have to change that, but you know, I don't think they will. So we're pretty much good on that. Now I think the design I took here is quite realistic with the concrete next to it. I think that's what most runways have. And there we go, that's the finished runway product. We still have to do a little bit of detailing on them, but you know, it's all coming together now. The taxiways were quite difficult actually. It's quite difficult to do that kind of stuff, to make that realistic. But I think we've done it. I think we made it realistic and nice looking. So I think we can be proud on the start of this project. And here it's starting to get a bit dark. I think the mod that I used to pause the time maybe crashed or something. I don't know what it did. But you know, that's that. I also used a different what's that called? Like a different shader or a different map theme. I downloaded the Springwood map theme. I thought let's try something else. I've always used the I think it was from Flux back in the day, the Fluxburg or something. I don't know what it's called. But now I'm using Springwood map themes and the Springwood LUT, I believe. So that's that. That's what I've been using. I think it looks kinda good. Actually, I think it fits the theme of this city very nicely, and I think I'm gonna use them for the rest of this series, if I don't find a better one, of course. Now, if you have a substitute for the Road United Core mod, which basically lets you change the road design from basic vanilla game to American or whatever. If you have anything that replaces that mod, please let me know, because mine doesn't work anymore. I think that mod completely stopped working. I think they took it off the Steam Workshop as well. I'm not quite sure about that, but if you have a mod that replaces that and that works well and doesn't crash the game, please let me know, because I'm dying to change these roads back to American style, because it is an American city after all, and these vanilla roads just don't look quite the atmosphere that I want to create. Now we're already 10 minutes into this video, almost. We're 8 minutes in actually, and we're finishing up on the details of the taxiways. Now these yellow lines, very satisfying to create that. Actually, they're very. You need to be very precise with those, but you know, once you get them all lined up perfectly, then they look. It just makes the airport that little bit realistic, a little bit more realistic than the default yellow lines on the taxiways, because the real lines don't connect up to the runway, and they're not as bright as these are. So basically, what we're going for is a brand new airport, because the tarmac hasn't really been touched. I'm going to detail the runways a bit more, that they're a bit more damaged, but the taxiways, they're you know, it's all quite new, and this is a relatively new city, so I figured let's go for a realistic, new kind of sphere. Sphere? That's Dutch. Atmosphere? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about today. This is Terminal 3 or 4, I want to say. We got this half round shape. That's gonna be Terminal 1. It's gonna be the main terminal. That's where all the international flights will be taking off from. There won't be really flights taking off from that terminal. There's all gonna be details and props. There is 2 terminals that will be accepting flights. There's that terminal that was right there, and one of these rounder shapes that's gonna be next to the Terminal 1. That's gonna be Terminal 2 basically, that has flights coming in and taking off. Those are gonna be the working terminals. Let's just say in that. And you know, this is a harbor for multiple airlines, so we're gonna have you know, different airlines would all have different terminals. And of course there's gonna be a lot of taxi stands with staircases and not real gates. There are real gates, but you're gonna have to walk out into the airport or go with the bus to that gate. And I always liked that. When I was traveling on airports, I always wanted to go with the bus onto the airport and got out and just go by stairs into the plane. That's always a fun thing to do, because you're not really allowed on the airport. So when you can enter on the tarmac, it's quite cool, you know. It's quite fancy. Now I think this airport looks kinda, you know, not as full as a real airport. The buildings aren't as massive and as large, so I need to kind of find some buildings that I can use to make the shape of the airport a bit more realistic. I think the buildings are kind of too small. I think the terminals need to be a bit larger. So that's kind of the thing I'm struggling with right here. I think if you guys know any buildings that will fit this theme very nicely, then please let me know. I'm dying to know what you guys have to say about this. Here we're working on like some hotels and some shopping centers next to the terminal. Pretty much this is gonna be an area where you can go to and do some shopping, maybe rest overnight, or we'll do whatever, you know. I always see these kind of buildings close to the terminal, and sometimes they're even connected up, as well as they're gonna be here. They're gonna be connected up to the terminal with these 3 bridges that go over one of the main roads that will get the people into the working terminal. The rest is all gonna be detailed and gonna be props, so we might even do some traffic, and that's gonna be all props, so it won't really work. But that's gonna be for the next video. This is still terminal 1, 2 and 3 basically. I think terminal 3 is those little buildings on the side that will be like one airport hub for you know, some airline. I don't know which one. This is gonna be the working terminal, so that's what you're seeing me create here. It doesn't look that good, these taxiways, but eventually they will work hopefully fine, and they don't look too bad with planes driving over them. I think they will work. The goal I was going for is that 3 Airbus A380s would be able to park next to each other. So there was 2 going to be parked and 1 needed to be driving right through the middle. And it fitted perfectly. It was kind of blind luck and not really planning or anything. It was kind of going for the best thing, and it worked, so luckily. Now there's not going to be these massive planes everywhere. There's also going to be smaller planes and cargo planes, of course. I think most of the planes in this airport are going to be like Airbus A320s, A330s. I don't know if those don't exist, I believe. And Boeing 737s, you know, the kind of usual jet airliners that the most airlines have. There's also going to be A380s and 747s and that stuff, don't get me wrong, but there won't be as lot of or as many of those as there are going to be smaller planes. I like the smaller planes more in this game. I don't know, they just look a bit more realistic, because you don't see an airport full of these large ass planes, so that's why I want to go for the smaller planes. Now I downloaded the prop pack that uses these different plane stands. I think they look good and they look realistic. They don't really mix up with the yellow lines of the taxiways I used, but it doesn't really matter. I think this will work as well. So hopefully you guys that go for ultimate realism don't mind that it doesn't quite match up. That's what I want to say. And these signs, I'm creating these signs next to the runway and taxiways that will let you know what runway you're entering. I really don't know what they look like in real life and how they function and what they say. I'm just going off a basic guess I had, and it's gonna be like R for runway, number runway, and then right or left or both, with an arrow pointing to the side that the runway is on. That's what I did. Don't know if it's correct, but you know, it doesn't really need to be that detailed that it's all precise. So that's that. Here we're working on the taxi lights, which are on the sides of the taxiways. I think in the basic game of City Skylines they're in the middle. Don't really know that for sure. But hopefully this is kind of realistic. I really don't know if they are realistic like this. Hopefully they are. I kind of like how it looks. You know, it just gives that different atmosphere at night. It just looks so epic with all these different color lights that it's gonna be awesome once it's done. I really can't wait until this project is done. I can't wait to work on it again, because I like airports and I like traveling to those. So hopefully I'm making this realistic as possible, but no, I can't say for sure. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of the time lapse, which I think is about 5 minutes left. I'll be talking for about 15 minutes and I'm kind of out of breath because, you know, I haven't done this in a long time, talk so much. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, maybe share it with your friends, do whatever. Hopefully I will see you in the next video where we're going to start detailing this a bit and we're gonna see what happens. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, of course. Take care, you're awesome, and bye bye.